Good evening. It is now after 6 p.m., and I will call this July 3rd meeting of the Board of Selectmen to order. We are at the Senior Center on Forest Street. If you would all rise and join me in saluting the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First order of business tonight is the approval of minutes from July 16th. I'll entertain a motion to approve as written.
So moved. Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of warrants. I'll entertain a motion to approve school warrant number 1002 for $8,942.96. General fund warrant 1003 for $134,357.51, and payroll warrant number 2 for $259,750.21.
So moved. Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
The next order of business is the lease deposit for the fire truck. So, for those that don't know, Rescue One, our first, one of the frontline fire trucks, one of the first out the door, lost engine compression and it's no longer serviceable. The fire chief has put that piece of equipment out of service, and it's a critical piece of equipment. I understand that the fire department responded to a fatal crash day on 49 with that piece of equipment, and it had the jaws of life on it, and it took an exorbitant amount of time to get to the scene. Am I correct on that?
Yes.
So we're replacing that piece of equipment with a demo model that was brought to the fire department last year. The chief and his staff are familiar with this piece of equipment. It's still for sale. It's a significant savings to the town if we can get this vehicle. We're going to get it on a lease. There's been a special town meeting that the Selectmen have posted for Tuesday, August 6th, for the purpose of allowing us to enter into a lease to get this piece of equipment. Now, it's going to be a 5-year lease, about $85,000 a year. However, that vehicle is being purchased for us by Green Gold. They've started to sell their product. Under the host community agreement, we're entitled to $200,000 a year, discretionary money that's being distributed to the town based on need. I had a meeting with Green Gold the other night, and they approved the use of $85,000 of that $200,000 a year to pay for the truck. First payment's not going to be due until August of 2020, so there's time to get money into the accounts and build it up for that purpose. So in order to get that vehicle held for us so that it doesn't get sold to anybody else, we have to provide a $5,000 deposit. That's coming out of the fire department's current budget for vehicle. The chief identified a line item that he has money in, vehicle maintenance or vehicle equipment or something like that. So tonight I would like to approve that $5,000 for payment. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the chief's request for $5,000 out of his account for the purpose of putting the down payment on that piece of equipment and authorizing the treasurer to pay it out of this week's warrant.
So moved. Second?
Any discussion to be had? Anything to be said? We good?
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye. I'd like to add too that it's not just the motor that's bad on it, because we talked about replacing the motor. It's my understanding that the entire vehicle is pretty much used up. So,
What is it, like 26 years old?
It's 23,
23.
and the life expectancy was 20. Our, what's it called, the ISO, the rating? It's the insurance rating that we get, and when vehicles like this exceed their life expectancy, our ISO rating goes up, which then costs every homeowner a percentage on their homeowner's insurance. So in order to keep it low, it's a good investment because it actually helps pay for itself over time. And some of the other issues with that piece of equipment, I understand the water tank in it is cracked somewhere up in the top, and they can't find where it's cracked, so it loses water. The frame is rusted beyond the point that it can be salvageable. So putting a new motor into that piece of equipment would not be very cost-effective for the town. If you get another few years out of the motor, you lose effectiveness on the other end. So, but we'll, at the special town meeting on August 6th, the chief will be here. Any questions that anybody from the town has will be answered by the fire department and the chief. So, let's see.
Is Green Gold paying for the whole truck, or they're giving us 85,000? Are they gonna, because it was 380, right?
Yeah, they're going to get, it's a 5-year lease.
Yep,
Each payment's 85,000.
okay.
They give us 200,000 a year in discretionary money.
Mm-hmm.
And out of that discretionary money, they've authorized us to use 85,000 of the 200,000
Each
for
year.
each year.
Yep.
So that leaves us with what, around 115 in discretionary money for other purposes. So it doesn't deplete that revenue source.
Well, I just wanted to explain so that the town doesn't think they have to come up with the money,
Right.
because Green Gold over the 5 years is gonna pay for it.
Right, for the whole truck.
Yep.
Green Gold is also buying us the Lucas tool, and that'll be in a couple of weeks. So
Sue will be very happy.
she'll be very happy indeed. So the way it works is they make the money each month. They put it into an account for us, but the town can't spend the money until the next year. It gets certified in pre-cash, so it comes through the town as revenue. It has to get certified as pre-cashed, and only then can we use it. So I met with the guys at Green Gold, and they wanted to help us out. So what they're going to do is purchase the Lucas tool themselves and donate it to the town
Nice.
out of that first month's money. So it was one of those things that we think it's important enough to get into the town in a hurry. It'd be a shame to say, okay, well, we'll get it next year, and somebody needs it now. So they've been gracious enough to do that. So that'll be forthcoming.
Thank you very much, Green Gold.
absolutely.
Yep. And they'll be here. Ralph and James from Green Gold will be here to present it to the fire department as soon as it comes in. So
Fantastic.
we'll keep people apprised of that. Let's see. I think that was it from Green Gold.
Good job negotiating.
Yeah, it worked out fine. It's good to see money start coming in. It's
Yes.
been, what, 2 years in the making,
Yep.
so.
Yep.
And very timely, too, because we really needed it. So, next order of business, Pioneer Valley, they had a warrant for us to pay. Yeah, that's the,
Was that the North Common Street?
Yeah,
I hope this is one of the final payments. I don't know what's in there.
it
but-
said there'll be an additional invoice at the end.
Okay, so this is warrant number 18 for $1,391.07, and warrant number 19 for $5,342.44. And the documentation supporting the costs is provided. So I would entertain a motion to approve those warrants for payment.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, new business. As I mentioned earlier, there will be a special town meeting August 6th. There are 3 articles that need to be addressed in a hurry. That's why we call the meeting. It will be here at the senior center. It's a Tuesday night. I think we put it on for 6:30. So it'll be following an abbreviated selectmen's meeting.
And a poll hearing.
I'm sorry?
And there's a poll hearing that night, too, at 6:15.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So the warrant is posted, but I'll quickly tell you, we need to enter into a lease for turnout gear for the fire department. The money for that is already in their budget. It was approved at town meeting. The issue is the board needs authorization to sign the lease from the town. It's the Municipal Modernization Act of a few years ago requires that the Board of Selectmen get permission to enter into every single lease. It used to be at the beginning of the year, the town gave the board authority to enter into leases. That's no longer lawful, so we need permission to do that. The money's already there, but it's on the warrant. The second one is the fire truck. That, again, is to authorize us to enter into the lease. The funding source is available, but we need the authorization to sign those leases. And the third one is the money that we gave to the school for the telephones out of our capital stabilization account will come back to the stabilization account, all but $7,000 of it, as the superintendent was able to secure the grant for that money. So we need a town meeting to vote that back into stabilization. So those are the 3 items on the warrant. Let's see. There's a letter from Jim Nyberg at the sewer department requesting permission to apply for grants. I put it on the agenda so that you guys had an opportunity to weigh in on approving it. I don't think that's a procurement issue. So I
It's
think
just so he can apply for the grants?
Yeah, he's looking for permission to apply for the grants, and he's looking for my signature on a letter to the Department of Agriculture, that, making them aware that he is the point of contact for the town in answering questions regarding this.
And the grants are for a major upgrade that we're gonna be forced to do within the next few years. And it's gonna be very costly, so.
Yeah.
We're gonna be looking at ways to extend the sewer line as well, so we can pick up some more customers to help alleviate the cost to the users that are on it now. So,
Yep, so if you review that letter, if you've reviewed it, I just wanted to have the board vote on authorizing signature of the letter. So I entertain a motion to authorize my signature on this letter.
so moved.
Second.
Motion made, second. Any discussion to be had? All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent.
I read it at home, I saw it.
Let's see, the next item is police reports from March through
Word.
June.
4 of them, he should be here for this.
All right, Jason, you want to take March?
Monthly report for March 2019. Lieutenant Ryan Daly attended a TASER instructor recertification class that was being offered in Middleborough. Patrolman Jeff Martin attended sexual assault investigator school that was facilitated by the Municipal Police Training Committee. This is a 40-hour training certification class, and it was held in Boston. Patrolman Christopher Donay, who is also the animal control officer for the town, notified me of an ACO grant for $1,000 for injured animals that he has received. This will provide us with funding for unanticipated veterinary bills that have occurred in that past, resulting in a cost to the town. I would like to extend my gratitude to all the residents that came to the special town meeting in March regarding the purchase of the new cruisers. The support of the residents, the Board of Selectmen, and the Finance Committee allowed this department to have a very good fleet of emergency vehicles. This support is recognized and appreciated by the members of the department as well as myself. The following incidents were logged for March 2019. 42 incidents, 13 arrests, summons, and custody, 28 civil citations, 1 accident, and 23 LTCs, FIDs processed.
Want to take April?
The monthly report for April 2019, the department has purchased a drone with funding that was secured by Representative Donald Berthium. This piece of equipment was purchased for search and rescue missions that could include missing children, adults, and the elderly. This unit is equipped with a FLIR, forward-looking infrared camera. This is thermal energy detection technology used in planes, ships, tanks, and cars for recognizing distant objects in fog and in the dark. This ability will assist us in daylight as well as complete darkness, locating missing or lost people. This unit can also be utilized by numerous departments within town that need video or pictures for projects, inspections, and events, and can be done by contacting the department. Lieutenant Ryan Daly is responsible for the training and record keeping of this unit's use. Currently, Patrolman Jeff Martin is currently being trained as the second operator, and the plans are to train other officers on the department. Lieutenant Daly is also completing all the necessary paperwork for the use of the drone by this agency. Lieutenant Ryan Daly assisted at the Boston Marathon with the CEMLEC SWAT team, providing assistance with the security of the event. The following incidents were logged for April 2019. 42 incidents, 11 arrests, summons, and custody, 18 civilian citations, 1 parking ticket, 3 accidents, 22 LTC FIDs processed.
Okay, so that was April.
I think it's nice that they're gonna be able to use the drone for the other departments too, for things that,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Yep, and they had it on display at the Touch-A Truck if you were at that event at all. If people were there, they had it up in the air. And maybe we should set up a demonstration day, because it's incredible. The distance you can see with that thing, and they said they were able to put it up in the air somewhere around the police station, and they could see the water tank at the State Police Academy, and they could zoom in on the logo on the side and read
Nice.
it perfectly clear. So it's an incredible piece of equipment.
please don't shoot it down, anybody.
Yeah.
Not in my backyard.
You want to do May?
Sure. In May, the department received a live scan fingerprinting unit from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. This is a machine that, if purchased, would cost approximately $17,000, and it was provided to the town at no cost. This gives the officers the capability to submit fingerprints immediately to the Massachusetts State Police Identification Unit, as well as the FBI. This machine will also expedite the processing of the firearms licensing and renewals. The first of the 2 cruisers ordered was completed, and the department took delivery. The cruiser received is the unmarked cruiser, and it replaced one of the older Crown Victoria cruisers that has been taken out of service. I anticipate the arrival of the second and fully marked cruiser to be in late July. The following incidents were logged for May 2019. 29 incidents, 10 arrests, summons, custody, 16 civil citations, 1 parking ticket, 6 accidents, and 17 LTC FIDs processed.
All right, that was May. Sorry, that was June.
The monthly report for June 2019. In June, the department was involved in the Touch-A Truck event that was held at the North Brookfield Elementary School. Assisting was Lieutenant Ryan Daly, Sergeant David Churchy, Patrolman Chris Danay, Patrolman Richard Karen, Patrolman Jeff Martin, Patrolman Kyle Cassavant, and Patrolman Michael Splain. During this event, we handed out bicycle helmets that we purchased through community police funding that was the result of a donation from several years ago. Lieutenant Ryan arranged for the CEMLEC SWAT armored vehicle to be at the event, as well as members of the regional team. I submitted a request for the Massachusetts State Police helicopter to be part of the event again this year. As with every year, the helicopter arrived and the troopers talked with all that came and allowed pictures to be taken inside the helicopter. I would like to thank Major Joseph King of the Massachusetts State Police for allowing the Air Wing to be a part of this event. Patrolman Jeff Martin had the department's drone on site and was flying it in the area at the time of the event. This was giving the ability to those attending to see and learn about the drone's capabilities. The following incidents were logged for June 2019. 49 incidents, 19 arrests, summons custody, 10 civil citations, 0 parking tickets, 2 protection orders, 7 accidents, and 12 LTC FIDs processed.
All right, so that should bring us up to date on the police department. So I'd entertain a motion to accept the monthly reports from March 2019 through June 2019.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Fire Department Building Committee contract. So you guys negotiated this contract and everything's in order? You're just looking for our signature?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Tecton is already signed.
Did any council look at this at all, or
The main agreement was prepared by council.
by
And
who's?
we've used that as is with the addition of Tecton's name, identifying attachment A in there as Tecton's fee proposal, and added the price.
Is this like similar to the police station? It's the same people, right?
It's the same people as the police.
Yeah. Okay.
So our council wrote this up?
KP Law.
Okay.
All right. I'd entertain a motion to approve the contract for the fire department.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So what are there, 2 copies here?
Yeah.
Awesome. You're off.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, what else do we got? Public comment. Anybody got anything? Yes,
I
sir.
just want to say that that Touch a Truck event was really good. I hope you do it again next year.
Was this the first one you've been to?
Yes,
Yeah,
I would say.
yeah, it's been going on, I think, at least 3 or 4 years, right? Because I've been to 3 of them, so it's got to be at least that many. But yeah, there's something.
It's really good. I don't know how far in advance you plan it or decide whether you want to have it.
Yeah, the board doesn't plan that. That's a school event. Yeah, and the people from the school do it, and they do a good job on it. I think this year, though, there weren't as many trucks as in past years. Past years, they've had 10-wheelers and all sorts of box trucks, and a lot of people came. This year, I thought it was a little smaller, but it's still good for the kids, right? Fire department's there with all their equipment and that ladder truck.
Now, the helicopter was a big deal.
Helicopter's really cool. Yeah. Yeah.
And one other thing, I'd just like to know where the improvements at the landfill are for the solar that's been proposed.
Yeah, they're still doing their due diligence. Background checks, they actually haven't heard from them in a while.
From Chris, we had signed, was it Chris Olson?
Yep.
We had signed something and sent it back for him to okay the preliminary drawings.
Yep.
So we haven't got anything back from
And,
them.
but that was a month or 2 ago, right?
Probably, yeah.
Couple
yeah,
months
at least
ago.
a month. Have we heard anything from Board of Health with the repairs that
No.
had to be done? We should get after them.
Yeah.
'Cause nothing can be done till the top swale and something else, a runoff.
Yep.
needed to be repaired over there.
Yeah, I know Trevor was getting a lot of problems with the engineer that he was using, so he switched engineers. I
Yep.
know that. But I don't know the status of
It's like
where
two
the work is with this new
Two
one.
steps back,
Yeah,
because the new guy had to start over again, so.
yeah. So that's a non-answer, but that's all we got for you.
I may ask a question again sometime.
No, it's good, because it went away from me, so we'll ask Trevor and John Alphin to get us information on how what their procedure is now, going forward, because I know the DEP has to certify that before we put anything on it.
Yeah, and that was built into the contract too, that they acknowledge that the DEP needs to certify, so they're fully aware of the timing.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
and with that, landfill is also, that whole project includes a canopy at the school.
In the parking lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the school was here one night for something, and we ran it by the superintendent and a couple of members of the school committee, and they were supportive of it, so I don't think there's any opposition to the canopy at
Mhm.
this point.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else?
Yeah, just a question, sort of along the lines of solar. Who, like, oversees the project manager if they're not doing what they should be doing? I mean, is that like a planning board thing? Is it through selectmen? Just, mention that because when they did the, resurfaced and did the, culvert over there on Elm Street, this is pipes laying there.
Highway needs to pick those up.
I'm hoping they pick them up sometime.
Yeah.
If they don't, who would you talk to?
I'll get after
Making
Jason.
sure they get that done.
He knows they have to come out of there, he just hasn't got a chance to get them. The big steel one and the two plastic ones are coming out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't like to see a mess left
Yeah.
behind for too long, you know?
Yeah, they need to put a paved skirt there too. The solar guys have to go in, what is it, 10 feet? What's a curb cut? Is that 10 feet in or 15 feet in? They have to do that because that was a curb cut.
Yep.
And that's planned, I think Jason was working with Greg Herring on that, to get that paved on the end. So that's coming too.
Yep.
So,
And the other thing we need from Jason, if you're gonna talk to him, is that 2-hour parking sign near Hair Mechanics that we,
I asked him to do a bunch of signs,
That's-
no trespassing and parking, yep,
yeah, so we'll check in with him.
I'll catch up with him.
I'm sure you will. Anything else?
Just the painting project on the townhouse. We've got part of the, we call it the tower, but the front section is done down to the first roof line. And I talked with the friends of the townhouse this morning and last night, and we're gonna extend the lift for another month. They've agreed to pay for it through the friends of the townhouse, and we're gonna get that side done this year,
Excellent.
so.
Nice.
Could use a few strong boys, help us scrape.
And on that, we had a request from the Downtown Development Committee, and I think it's probably a good idea. They requested a quarterly meeting in which all of the different committees and groups in town come in and give a 2 to 5 minute presentation of what they have in the works and what's going on, so that all the other committees know. Information comes in piecemeal from the different groups, and sometimes one group doesn't know what another group is planning, or even what the selectmen have as a vision for the town. So they suggested quarterly. I think that's probably sufficient.
We could invite them to a selectmen's meeting and fill some of the chairs out there.
Well, that's my plan. Do one selectmen's
Yep.
meeting.
Well, I think maybe an off night. We could just, if it's quarterly, we'll just come in here on one of our off nights, so we're not killing the rest of the meeting for the other business.
Yeah, but I'll have it televised.
Yeah.
I'll have the
Oh,
guys come in
absolutely.
and we'll
Absolutely,
televise
yeah.
so everybody can hear them. Yep, that's a
Yeah.
good idea. We'll do it on an off night. So I'll set that up for maybe a day in August and start it off.
Check with them, make sure that their plans, you know, what do they got, 5 groups that wanna come? Downtown
Yeah.
development, the
There might
Friends of
even
the
be more than
Townhouse,
that,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch, but I think trying to get everybody to agree on a date is going to be very difficult. So we just put a date out and have each committee send at least one representative.
Sure,
to-
yeah.
That's all.
So that everybody knows where everybody stands, so set that up for.
Gone on the
August.
week of the 18th.
In August?
Yep.
All right.
The common committee's gonna wanna do their thing too. The common committee, that's a different one, right?
Yeah, the playground people?
Playground,
Yeah, Yep,
Yep.
for sure. And I met with Neil Thurber earlier today, just before this meeting, to walk the Aztec property, that final spot. The money's in place, we got the grant, so they're doing the assessment and a plan to remediate that last portion. And we looked at that other square piece. He looked at it. He's going to look into it because he can't recall whether it was done or not done. But with this money that we have, he's going to test it so that we know what's there. So either way, we're going to know what needs to be done to finish that project with this money.
Well, last winter, when I met with them over there, they had it drawn on their paperwork that small square was not done,
Was not done?
was not done.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they're gonna test it to see if it needs to be done.
Yep. Maybe
So I don't
that's
think
why
it's
they
been
didn't-
tested yet, has it, to your knowledge? Do you know?
No, I think it was all assumed.
Yeah, because he doesn't know the extent of the asbestos proliferation over there, and he was talking about that one section, and I didn't realize this earlier, but he said it's pieces of asbestos that's just placed around. So if we can find spots that it's not, then we can determine that doesn't need remediation, then we can take that soil and flip it to cover places that aren't, so we could save money that way. So that's the way they're gonna attack it. So if that small parcel doesn't have too much in it, we might be able to just flip stuff on top of it, that'll be done. But we'll know the extent with this money, that's the bottom line of this stuff,
Do you know
85,000.
roughly the timeframe that they would test it? You talking within the month?
Yep.
or- Yeah,
Yeah, he said he's gonna meet with his team tomorrow or the next day. They're gonna develop their plan of attack. Because our thinking is that that group that gives us the money, Shyla,
oh, yeah, I can't remember.
it's a state agency that has money for this stuff.
Mass Development?
Yes, mass development, thanks, yep. We're thinking that they have money available, well, they do have money available every year, so the sooner we get this in and the sooner we address it, the more likely we are to be able to get whatever money is coming in the next round of grants
Yeah.
to cover it. Because she's made mention a couple of times that she wants to get this project completely done. And when I was at the grant funding for the 85 that we got, there were some people getting $1 million plus for some of their projects around the state. So hopefully we can get on their radar quick. So he's going to do that.
As soon as you get information, can you let us know so we can update the architect? Because
Oh, yeah.
that's gonna be part of their study as well. They're gonna have to kind of study
Okay.
the property as well, so there'll be one less piece that we would have to worry about.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
if they come back and say it's clean, then, you know, or there is asbestos there, then we know,
right.
then we know how to address it.
Does the plan have you going all the way to the end, so that little parcel's gonna be a,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
All right. Yeah, he said he was gonna test it and they were gonna develop a plan. They were gonna do it with some haste, so I'm hoping within the next few months we'll
That's good to
have
know.
something and we'll definitely forward it as soon as we get it.
Okay,
Perfect.
thank you.
All right. Anything else? Anything? Good. Anything else?
I think we're good.
Awesome. And one announcement, there are changes coming to your charter communication channel lineup. What is it?
Doesn't
Four
apply to-
changes, four
Doesn't
announcements.
apply to me, so.
Are these?
Doesn't come through on my antenna.
Let's see, locally known as Spectrum, it was recently informed that on August 21st, Evine Channel will be rebranded to Shop HQ. It doesn't give the channel number, but if you're familiar with Evine and you're a television purchaser, it sounds like one of those shopping networks.
Thank goodness it's done that way.
Let's see. They were also informed that this change has already occurred. Univision Deportes, located on the basic tier, will be rebranded to TUDN. So if that impacts anybody, be aware of that. Let's see. This also has already been implemented. On May 24th, Olympusat ceased transmission of its Hillsong channel located on the Spectrum lineup in your community. Spectrum is replacing the Hillsong channel with Uplift TV on channels 166 and 853. So, let's see. On July 16th, WUNI2 LATV on Spectrum Channel 189 is rebranded from WUNI2 LATV to WUNI2 Bounce TV. So it just looks like a bunch of name changes. So if anybody was wondering, if you've noticed that, that's why it has changed. Is there anything else? Is there anything I'm missing? Anything else? Anybody? Going once?
Thank you.
Going twice?
Move to adjourn.
Second?
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.